Hello and welcome to a small little analysis about the logic puzzle game Baba Is You. Now, Baba Is You is a logic puzzle game all about changing the rules, and it is a game by Arvi Teikari. I am 99% sure that he made this game by himself, but I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it's he made it by himself. But anyways, I'm just going to go right into it. I'm going to try to explain, preface some stuff while y'all enjoy the intro. So it's a tile-based game, so, everything's kind of determined by squares. That's Baba, the little sheep dude. This is the character that you're going to be seeing the most. These are walls, rocks, and what the game's introducing here is something called subjects. These are all subjects. So these are what you'll be starting off, what will start off most of the rules. And what rules are basically these three little sentence things. And there's a subject, a connector, and I don't really know what to call these. I was calling them like adjectives, but obviously this one right here, you, isn't an adjective. So I would just kind of say a subject, a connector, and a predicate. I guess that's what you can call it. So when three of these are connected together, they make it basically means that this rule is in effect. So while these three are connected together, that means that I am Baba, and right now, as you can see, wall is stop. Now what stop means is that stop, I can't go through it. It means it will stop me. However, something interesting about this game is that the rules are something that you can affect. So if I go right here and go down, I push it down, and as you can see, all the text kind of grayed out because they're not connected anymore. The subject is no longer connected to the predicate. So that means I can go up, and I can go up into the wall. The walls no longer stop me, which is something I like a lot. So to kind of go further, you basically means that you is the play, is who you can play as. And I'll go into more of that later, but for now, let's just keep on going with the level. Now, if you can look over here in the bottom right, you can see rock is push. Now, these are rocks, and push is self-explanatory. We can push them. So that's pretty cool. You can push them all sorts of directions, but you cannot push them through walls. That's pretty logical. And up here, flag is win. And you want to touch the flag in order to be able to win. Now, I'm going to go through the first couple of introductory levels, just kind of explain to them. Level 1 is where do I go? Now this is a level that the solution is you have to figure out. This basically teaches you that you can affect text. You can walk through. It no longer exists. Basically, when things aren't connected to something, they don't exist. Like they'll be here, but they're not really there, if that makes sense. And I'm touching on the flag, but flag doesn't exist either because it's not connected by anything. So we have to push the text in order to make the rule happen. So we have to bring the connector and the predicate over here to make flag as win, and that will complete the level. Pretty easy stuff once you get to know it. Now level 2, now what is this? Well, this looks pretty similar to the first level, except Baba's nowhere to be seen. Instead, wall is you. We're the wall. Right here. Right there. So, and flag is stop. So all these flags, we can't move past the flags. And what this level does is a great job of teaching you that the subjects, these things right here, aren't too terribly important. You can basically interchange a lot of them and they'll do the same thing. Like for example, wall can be push, wall can be stop, wall can even be win, and wall can even be you. But if we bring this over here to Baba is win, you know the solution to the last puzzle, we quickly realize that there's no little sheep dude anywhere in the level, so it's impossible to win. But if we bring the flag text over here, flag becomes win, and we can walk into flag, and we can win the level. Moving on to level 3, Out of Reach. This will also teach you an important mechanic of how to interact with things, if you will, or how things work. So this introduces a new subject and a new predicate, sink. And what sink does is when we walk into it, we die. We sink. And this level also teaches us a very handy feature, undo. And if you hold Z, it will undo your past actions. So I'm pressing Z, undoing it. Now, something important that this level also teaches you is that if we bring the rock over here and, destroy the water here, we realize that we can't reach the flag. So what do? Well, if we come over here, we can access this room and we can start toying around with, the subjects and the predicates, the connectors, all that, see what all we can do. But the intended solution is that I'm going to use undo real quick so we can get the solution. But if we bring it over here, if we bring rock over here and push it down, we can make rock win. So that means that we can now beat the level. Flag isn't necessary because as the previous level taught us, it doesn't really matter what the subject is as long as the predicate makes it to what you need it to be. So level 4, still out of reach. All right, we have a couple of new mechanics introduced. We have a new subject skull and the condition defeat. Now defeat is similar to sink, except this time it doesn't disappear when you walk into it. It just kills you. So the only way out is by pushing these 3 rocks upwards, which also teaches you that you can push multiple things at once, and doing this. Now, something cool that this level kind of tells you is that it doesn't really matter that, we can't, obviously we need to be able to access, we need to make this ineffective by pushing one of the text boxes out of the way, but we can't get in here because of all the skulls in the way. So what do? Well, we can use these rocks over here to push the text for us. And now it doesn't defeat, because defeat only affects things that are kind of alive, if that makes sense. It really only affects you. So we go and then we win. Another level that teaches you something important is level Volcano. Now, this introduces the concept of lava, and lava is hot, and Baba is melt. So what that means is that we can, that means that if we walk into it, we die, we melt. So what do? Well, it's sort of kind of shifting, or like learning how, condition priorities, I'll call it, or like predicate priorities. So if we make lava push, lava is both hot and push, but since we're able to push the lava out of the way, we never melt, because in order for us to melt, we would have to be able to walk onto the tile, but push makes it so the tile is pushed away, so we're never walking onto it, so we never melt, and that allows us to get to the win condition. Moving on to level 6, off limits. To start off, we see that wall is stop, where Baba, flag is win, skull is defeat, and rock is stop. So something throughout the game you'll notice is that most levels will start off with like a couple of rules in a corner that you can't affect. So this creates sort of a constant of like constraints, like, okay, well, rock is stop, but we never really have to worry about that because that's just a constant. We don't have to worry about like seeing, oh, what can we do with rock, what can we do with skulls, what can we do with flags, because those are all constant things that we can't change. So we just have to think about wall is stop and Baba is you. Those are the things that we can tangibly affect, because if we move the text, we can go through the wall. And so this level kind of meshes together ideas from level 3 and the volcano level. Not volcano, but it kind of like expands upon the idea at level 3, because if we make wall is you, we're all of the wall. So we can move around and we can interact with the flag, because only one of the wall tiles has to hit the flag in order for it to count as a win. And we can move on to World 1, but I do need to be wrapping up, so we'll just go through the last level, Grass Yard, which teaches you which teaches you a lot of things in one level, and is really, really clever. So on the right, we can see grass is stop, so we can't go through these little grass tiles right here. And we can see Baba is you, and the subject flag and the predicate win. So to start things off, one of the best parts of the level is, you go over here, and you're thinking, okay, well, to start off, I need to get flag out of this box, but how do I do that? Because now it's trapped, because I can't push it that way, and I can't push it this way. So what do I do? Well, something you have to understand is that the wall isn't stopping you at all. It doesn't exist, because there's no wall is stop thing. In fact, the wall subject isn't even in the level. It's just the sprite is here. So this kind of teaches you to keep an eye out to kind of understand what the rules are before starting a level, so you don't end up wasting a bunch of time assuming something that just isn't true. Now, this is only one half of the level, because now we can get these, the subject and the predicate out of here. But how do we go on to making flag is win? Because there's no extra is. The is taking up Baba is you, and grass is stop, and we can't access this, so we have to be able to do something with this. And if we try taking the is out of Baba is you, we don't exist anymore. So what do we do? Well, what you have to do is you have to take the flag subject, put it over here, and what this level kind of teaches you is it teaches you that the is can be used multiple times. It can use up to down and left to right, and only one, which is very good to keep in mind. And in this level sort of encourages players to think outside the box, because it's kind of two layers. One layer is figuring out that the walls don't matter, and it's just kind of there to trick you, and that you can use is multiple times. So that's kind of the basics of the game. These levels teach you all the things you really need to know. Below is a continuation of this. It's not like just like a transcript or just like kind of doing what's discussed here. It's a little bit different. But